So tell us about your character Belle in The Family. It's quite a departure from Quinn for Bray.
Thanks. She is the dreamer. She has aspirations to fall in love and kind of escape her family's particularly odd ways, not be a daughter anymore. And she experiences her first love and heartbreak.
What attracted you to the role?
Originally, at the beginning, I had heard that Bob might do it, but I knew Luc Besson was directing, and he's one of my favorites, like The Fifth Element and The Professional, Big Blue. They're some of my favorite films. So I was excited at the prospect of working with him, and then of course, Bob signed on, and Michelle signed on, and Tommy, and it's not very often that you can tick off so many boxes in one project. Just the people that you wanted to work with.
What was it like working with Michelle Pfeiffer and Robert De Niro, like huge stars?
I know, they're so lovely, and I guess that was the best added bonus, because people that you admire so much, their work, it's you never want the experience to be bad, because it would so tarnish everything. So yeah, they're so wonderful to work with and to know as people.
Did the cast get along well? Because it seemed like you had really good chemistry.
Yeah, it was pretty instant as well. Luke definitely sets up the environment. And yeah, it was really cool that it felt so immediate.
You were involved in some quite intense fight scenes. Did you get your hands dirty and get involved in the stunts yourself at all, or did you, go for gun lessons beforehand? I don't know how it works. But...
Yeah, I had to go to stunt training, and they'd blocked off all these days for me for stunt training, because I think they saw, this blonde girl from LA, and they were like, oh yeah, she's gonna need weeks. And in the first stunt rehearsal, I pretty learned all my choreography, and they were like, oh, okay, so we can cancel all those dates, but I think I grew up dancing when I was younger, and it's very similar to dance choreography, put your arm here and swing here and whatever. I think Luke's concern, he was like, okay, so when you're going to swing, like, do you play tennis? I was like, no, not really. It's like, oh, okay, well, really make sure that you look, aggressive. He was like, the Serena, Venus and Serena, other tennis players. I was like, yeah, I get it. I understand.
Obviously, it's two very different experiences, but which do you prefer? Do you prefer working on a TV show such as Glee, or do you prefer working on a big budget film?
They're both so different, and I think it's always about the writing and who you're working with, and in that way, we're very lucky, because TV and film are just so different than, there used to be a distinction, and it was very different. And now many TV shows are shot like movies, and the material is so raw and great. So that's the great thing, is like, whatever comes next, it can oscillate between the two, and as long as I'm playing interesting characters, that's all I care about.
What's the plan for the future? Are you going to do a guest spot on Glee, or are you going to carry on making all these amazing films? What do you want to happen?
Yeah, I don't really know. I know that if all goes well, I'll be shooting 2 movies back to back next month. But I always say, until you're shooting on set, don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
And even then, sometimes, depending on the project, usually it's on the last day of filming that I'm like, we did it,